Hello, hello. Welcome to the Lions Den podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lyons. We are back with a season two, episode eight recap, the finale of Paradise Exodus, because they had to leave out of the bunker, now into the wilderness. Poetic, isn't it? You guys know, but first, before we get into it, we have to go over our house den rules. So please like, share, and comment and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Also, I would love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on the show and your theories below. There was so much going on with this season. We're gonna get into all things paradise, all theories, and our hopes for season three. So let's get right into it. So, I think the biggest thing here, right, is we finally know who or what Alex is. And if I'm being honest, was it the best explanation? Probably not. But essentially, Alex is an AI who can predict different outcomes based on, let me see, she can predict different outcomes, solve different problems very fast, very quick, and she has to have an element of time travel, I'm assuming, right? Because we did not really explain how Link got here or came up with Alex and created Alex. So yeah, essentially, it's an AI built to predict possible and possibly manipulate those events. Connects to time dissertation. It was created by Dylan. We got to see that fall out where he goes into the sciences class. He just kind of sort of pops up. That's how it's at least presented to us. And they end up working together. You see how they became partners, how Link was built a relationship with the wife Alex, where they named her Alex, and were approached by Sinatra to build this machine. But the doctor, Henry, the scientist Henry, once he learned how fast and how intelligent the machine was, he was like, hey, yeah, this is dangerous. We need to shut it down. We don't know. It could potentially manipulate time because it's solving things that we did not ask for, giving us possibilities and predictions. This could be really bad. One, I think, for one, destiny, right? Like, I think there will be a lot of self-fulfilling prophecies if you allow something like that to exist. It's kind of similar. Me and my friend were talking how That's a Raven would work. My girl, that's my favorite show. How it would her visions only would come true because she would make sure they didn't come true. So you have that sort of thing where it disturbs fate, but also, is it becoming, because we see that it's going so fast and solving things that we didn't ask it to, it's highly intelligent. So could it create a mind of its own, like Ultron, from Marvel? Um there's that possibility as well. So he wanted to stop it. Sinatra did not want to because, again, on the other scientific side, she knew that when it came to the world ending, this was just phase one. They got to get to phase two, and this potentially could be the way to help with phase two. Which, for those who don't know, phase two is where the sun will come out. It will seem like everything is fine, everything is normal, but then it will start to get extremely hot, and it will get to the point where it becomes so hot that I think volcanoes or destruction comes, or in fire or whatever. It get like almost absorbs, like, I think Venus or Mars, one of those. It will then become like that, and people will all die off no matter what, right? So Alex was a part of her part two. Now, while this is also happening, we also go back to the bunker where we see that implosion of one another has happened, where the doors want to be closed are going to open, but then everything, it's crumbling because they've done opposite things at the same time, causing it to just combust, right? And so we're seeing that play out. The daughters are still stuck in the elevator. We have Jeremy with Agent Robinson still, and we have Tarabi, Dr. Tarabi, Tobias. Is that her name? Am I calling her Tarabi? It's Tobias, ain't it? It's Tobias. It's definitely Tobias. Dr. TT. I'm gonna call her Dr. TT because I ain't got time for this. Okay. Dr. TT, we open up with her there standing kind of in a state of shock with Jane sitting in the shower. I knew right when I saw this moment that the fact that we were sitting here in this moment, we don't know how much time gap there has been, how long she's been sitting there. I said, we sitting on this moment for a reason. Jane, she not dead. It's more to this. It's more to this. It has to be, because otherwise Jane's storyline would be a complete waste of time. Like a complete waste of time. Because why would we get an AI warning us to stop a Jane just for this to be your ending? We knew this was not it. We knew this was not enough. So, um, and that's my prediction. Jumping ahead a little bit, we find out towards the end of the episode that yeah, dead, the dead walk again. She got up in 3 days, in 3 hours. She got up. She arose. Happy Holy Week. Somehow, crazy don't die easily. Crazy is they got like another gene to them where it take a lot to take them down. And yeah, I think this just proves to me again that I don't understand the point of Dr. CT. I just don't get it. I don't really get her character. It's kind of like she, got a puff in her chest, want to do the most, but do absolutely least because you had one job. You had one job and you failed. So as far as I'm concerned, child, she can go. Like I'm sorry, she can go. She can go. She can go. So while this is all happening, or that has happened, we then get to where now everything is imploding and they're trying to figure out what they need to do. Dr. TT comes and try to, puff her chest out again and take control of the situation, which I will say I do at least respect, because these billionaires and men who, are the rich and powerful and you would think maybe are more capable, which we know is not the case or true. They're like, what do we do? Oh my God, I don't know what to do. And she's like, get some balls, do something. If we know that this is about to implode, then open the doors. We just gonna face them when they come in here. Like that's just what it is. We got all of these. We got. I don't know if they got an army, but they got security and home advantage. We just gonna have to make it work. But we just not gonna sit here and let people just not breathe. But come to find out, it didn't really matter because again, with everything imploding on itself, even with them coming in, they still had to enact exodus, which was that they have to leave the bunker and escape because it's essentially the bunker is down. And um while this is happening, Sinatra, I guess, is in Colorado. We find out that that is where Alex is housed. So Alex is not even housed in the same bunker. There's a whole nother bunker where there's a scientist there monitoring with Alex. And I guess because she's taking an underground train, which she has found a way to build, she has no idea what is going on at that bunker until she gets closer to the bunker. There, when she goes to Alex, the scientist is like, there's a message for you, hands her a card that says user X, and there's a card for them to use when they pretty much telling them that like they need to come see me. Yes, the AI has told Sinatra that this person needs to come see me. Also, Alex has told her that this will be the day that this will be your last visit to me. Okay. I did find it interesting that it was like that she will be dead by the end of the day. Okay, yes. I was gonna say something, but yeah, that was what was said. So this kind of becomes very like jarring to Sinatra, right? Where we left off with the first episode where she was kind of like, yeah, I figured out, right? To kind of like this awakening to, whoo, I better make my peace because my day is literally numbered, you know? I think they I think as far as writing, Sinatra is one of the best characters that they have written and done well with context and depth because she's not a villain, she's an anti-hero, right? She was trying to get redemption. She excuse me, wasn't necessarily acting in a selfish manner. She was trying to get to ultimately saving people and probably finding her like trying to bring back her son, but her goal was ultimately to stop this catastrophe from happening. She just went about it in a wrong way, which makes her an anti-hero because she goes against what's morally right to get to the right answer or get to the goal. So I think her character arc was very well. I think I wanted a little bit more, but again, because we only have 8 seasons, that's a big factor as to why. But um, she was probably one of the better characters that they could have written, for sure. Her getting to this point of knowing that it worked, her son was here, and that she was willing to go down with the ship and do what it takes to protect and save people for real and be grounded in that. Um, I think it was a really good growth for her. And um yeah, so this is where you see it shift in her mind of what she's going to do. We also see where she comes back, tells everyone to leave to escape, and she's kind of there very much in a reflective mode, just looking at how things have pretty much burned to the ground, but in a way she's at peace that this is probably her last day on earth. And I think at this point, she's just anticipating on how it's going to happen. While she's doing this, unexpectedly, Xavier pops up with a gun, right? So Xavier has came on the train from that he was traveling with Anne's baby, Annie's baby, and his wife, and they end up coming, leaving the baby with someone, and going anyone but Gary. They go into the bunker to go get their kids before whatever Link and his crew have planned. Which it seems like they want to destroy and go at Alex. So, but then of course when they go in there, they see that like, oh, this is about to blow. We understand science. We are smart people. Like they aren't just like scavengers or anything. Like, they're like legitimate nerds who get science. And they were like, yeah, this place is about to blow. We gotta help people. Like, we need to pivot this plan. Like, I get it. You want to get to Alex, but we cannot, in good faith, let these people die. And it was particularly one of, I think, one of Link's friends that we had saw earlier on. I don't remember his name, but he kind of served as the anchor for Link. He served as the moral compass, I think, which is good. Which I guess you can compare if he is Sinatra's son to what Dr. TT was for Sinatra. Um, but I think this is maybe a case of nature versus nurture where it matters a little bit more to Link than maybe it did to Sinatra when Dr. TT was trying to pull her back. It didn't work. But with Link, it does. And he pivots and shifts his attention like, okay, if we can get to Alex, fine, but also like we do need to help these people because we would be no better if we just sat here and let them die because we just focused on Alex. And are we going to even make it to Alex, right? So they're there. X they're looking for their son and their daughter. They're finding around. They reunite with the son, which I did like. I loved it because like I was waiting for these moments because I be rooting for the black people to get a happy ending with child. Like they done did enough. Give them a happy ending. They sit here being foster parents, auntie, unc. Give them a happy ending. They need to rest for the love of God. So I was happy that they reunited with the son. He told her, like, last thing I heard, she was on an elevator or something. I don't know. So Xavier again wants to, I gotta go save her. And Terry's like, hold on. You keep like trying to separate yourself like a lone wolf, and you got family and people to care about. Like, I need you to chill, relax a little bit, which I do understand. Like, y'all haven't seen each other for, has it been 9 years? You too eager to, I gotta go. This could have been a family escape plan. Like, and shoot, you would have needed it anyway because you needed some extra people to hold up the elevator because y'all would have been screwed otherwise if Link didn't show up. So I get her little frustration, but the wife decides, because I think at first he was going to leave her a first time, but that time she does decide to take the son and leave and get out. And he was like, I haven't been around you for 9 years. I'm gonna find you again. Okay. But you keep playing, like stop playing. What you trying to say? Okay. So he goes to the tower where he finds Sinatra back where she's sitting there kind of just watching and observing her ship go down like the Titanic. And he's like, I was told that my daughter is stuck here in one of these elevators. You got to help me find her. Now, what's interesting is you can also see Sinatra depuff, right? Humanized because she no longer has the backing or support of Jane. Like that was giving her life and breath and feeling herself and in a part of what was making her powerful or position of power because she had a bodyguard, because she had a weapon. That's gone. So I do think we're seeing more of who the humanity and softness of how Sinatra really is because her weapon is gone, allegedly. So she looks at the cameras, she sees that, oh my God, my daughter's with your daughter. We gotta go get her ASAP. So they go, and it's like you cannot afford to lose another said child. Like you just, I guess, allegedly found your son. You can't lose your daughter. So they go. They realize that they're in the elevator. The elevator, we know the like predictable elevator issues that happen where it wants to like drop, and they're making a plan as they do that to try to get the daughters out. Link and his buddies are going through the bunker or going through the tower, trying to find a way to stop it from blowing because they're like, okay, maybe we can get in there, maybe we can stop it. Because again, these are geniuses, right? They're nerds. They're physical nerds. Get you a nerd. Okay, anyway. They are trying to stop it as it's trying to blow, but at this point, everything is fried and it causes an explosion. Now, there was already an explosion when we had Jeremy and Agent Robinson. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna pause a little bit on Link and go to them real quick because they storyline was probably and still is my least favorite because I just felt like y'all didn't try for real. Y'all really didn't try for real with them. There was already an explosion which kills the other scientist who built the bunker. Or is he engineer? Doesn't matter. So now they're injured, right? And they're trying to leave the bunker, trying to get out as everything is coming down. Mind you, the sky is not falling yet of the bunker. You got time, sweetheart. You got about maybe an hour and a half tops at this point. And Agent Robinson wants to become the sacrificial lamb to Jeremy. And he's like, leave me. No, I can't make it. I'm going to slow you down. Just leave me. It's not worth it. Go, live your life, be everything that your dad wanted you to be. I loved him so much. I truly did. If I have to hear that one more time, I just, and here's the thing, I don't even blame Agent Robinson herself. I just think the writers failed her character. I know you can take attention to developing characters. I've seen you do it. It's very lackluster when it comes to Agent Robinson, and she deserved more because I felt like that was very weak considering how she was in season one. But also, like, I don't want a black woman, her whole value to be like she was the president's mistress. Like, Scandal barely got away with it. Like, they're probably the only people that get away with it. Now she got to bring something else. And I just felt like it was just too, like, okay. And then you're telling him to go live his life, but you go pull a gun on him. So you're telling him to live his life, but so you're gonna shoot him and not honor Cal if he tries to save you. That was so stupid. The way I would have been like, girl, put that away and smack that gun out of hand and say, let's go, stop playing with me. Like, cause don't even, please, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's kind of like fake heroicism. Like, you trying to be all like, yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice. Baby, you actually have more than 30 minutes. Come on, let's go. Like, and the fact that he comes back with more help and you make it was just like, what was the point of this scene? What was the point of all of this? There was no reason for her to have all that dramatics. It was literally, I was just like, okay. But I blame the writers. Do better by Agent Robinson. She deserves better. Like, seriously. She is more than his mistress. And you need to find a different purpose for her, Miss Girl, than Jeremy. But it need to be something. Get creative. I know y'all said y'all finished that script, but go in there and make some edits because she deserves more. Okay. Now we go back to the elevator, or we go back to Link meeting up, eventually getting to the elevator, and they're trying to stop it and delay it. The system is fried. They're trying to cool it down at least to buy people time to get out. And this causes another explosion where his moral compass person, his anchor of the show, ends up getting killed because um, sharp pieces from it hits him in his neck. So this was it. I think this was a turning point for Link because I do think that if he is Sinatra's son, right, they do have a tendency to ride that line of hero being a hero and being an anti-villain and or anti-hero and doing things for the sake of their cause and leaving people because Link has had to have constant reminders to do the right thing morally throughout the show. So to eliminate that person who was really good at anchoring him, it does make you wonder for season 3, where is Link's character going to go? Is he going to turn if this is his mom, allegedly, is he going to turn into his alleged mom and lean more in that direction? Or is he really going to stay grounded in what his purpose is? And we will see, right? But that happens. He's of course upset. He's hurt. But they have to go because at this point you can't get to Alex. Everything's going down. Everything going down. We just got to get out now and help people. As they're trying to leave, they see Xavier and Sinatra holding up the elevator trying to get the daughters out. They come in and they help. So thank God they're actually good people and they help them get them out. But this was a moment where Sinatra, where he does, I need to get to Alex. I need to get to Alex. And I think this is the way that they've introduced a new anchor for Link, a moral anchor with his daughter and finding out about Annie. And because why would you think that like Annie somehow would find you in this way, right? Like that's wild to be like, what? Annie? And I'm a papa? Okay, let me do the right thing. And then that's grandma baby. Grandma to baby. So it was just like, oh, you know, going on in that scene. If she would have hollered, I'm a grandma, I probably would have lost it. Like, please. I'd be like, Sinatra, please. Please. This please. But he decides to move on, to not do it because she said, like, at the end of the day, you're not gonna get it, babes. This thing is going down. So choose ye this day how you gonna move forward because you're not getting it. Like you can't get it at this point. It's not even here. And so we go and get out, and this is where we get the dots to connect to that car that was earlier said that Project X, user X, needed to go to Alex in order to follow the next step of what it has predicted. Um, we're hoping to help save what is going on. And so leaving for the car, they're like, okay, this is gonna blow. It's gonna be nuclear blow. How do we stop this and contain it? And so she said, well, the bunker was built to withstand it. So that means it can contain it as well. But we just have to go and close back the doors so that when it explodes, it will just stay within the bunker. And once while they're in the car, Link is in the car and he asked the daughter, hey, what's your dad's name? She goes, Xavier, but they call him X. So then that makes Link go, hey, X. I forgot. My bad, y'all. He says, hey, X. Thank you. I think he says, where's my daughter? I think that's what he says. So because he says that, Link, when it recenters Link, because he's now like, wow, Annie was trying to come to me. Annie was with me, but we have a daughter. Okay, let me get out of here. With her, yeah, with him yelling X, this makes Sinatra realize that, like, oh, you're user X. So, okay, let me accept fate. Like, let me just accept it because this is a sign. And so they go back to the tower, and she's like, one person has to stay and hit the button. So I'm gonna sacrifice myself, but you need to essentially, she tells him, like, it's now on you to save the world, and you go to Alex. Alex is in Colorado. Um, under the airport. This is where you need to go in order to save humanity. And so she's now put that burden of him being the savior because he's probably the best person there, and which could have something to do with Dr. TT picking him because she did hand select who was coming in the bunker. hmm Um, so now that his other new charge to go and get to Alex and be the user that accessed Alex. So at this point, Sinatra has accepted her fate. She is starting to, she's like, I'm going to be with Dylan, and she's at peace. And we just see that moment visually where Alex is next to her, looking at the horse that they were on, and she gets that moment of peace that she's always wanted in reconnecting with her son. All while this is happening, you don't necessarily like they kind of leave you in suspense if X made it out or not, even though we see his shadow running out of the door. Personally, like I agree. Like they didn't really need to do that. Like we know he's gonna make it. Like he's the lead. Don't even play with us like that for real. It was just kind of like, okay. But he made it. He made it. And he was able to reconnect with his family now. What we find interesting about Colorado, and I had to learn this, that there were a lot of conspiracy theories around Colorado's airport, and that there were secret societies. If the world was ever supposed to end, there is allegedly a plan where that will be where they would go. Um, and because there was like a bunker there's so many things. There's like this blue pony, I mean, yeah, blue pony that exists, that apparently the artist was creating it and it fell on him and injured him, uh which made him have like internal injuries. So there's a lot of conspiracies around that, is if that is intentional to either represent Link or represent Sinatra because she is the creator of the bunker and it falls, or is it Alex because he's the creator of, not Alex, I'm sorry, Link because he's the creator of Alex, and it will fall, or he will fall and be hurt because he is the creator. There's a lot of theories that could potentially be right, potentially make sense. I don't know, but it stood out for a reason. So I know that the writers are gonna have fun with that because there's already I mean they knew they were like, we're gonna set these people off because we're already making them go crazy. We're already there, and boom, Colorado. Yeah, y'all petty. Y'all petty. Y'all real messy. Y'all really are. Y'all really are. So do we think that Jane, I'm sorry, Sinatra is still alive? I am kind of inclined to think she is. I'm sorry. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. And here's why. Where did Jane go? Where did she go? What was Jane's charge? To protect Jane, to protect Sinatra at all costs. Sinatra was having this whole hallucination. There was a comment that she did make in the elevator talking about like being hallucinated or something. I don't know. I kind of feel like it could either A, Jane did escape, see what was happening in the shadows, snatched up Sinatra, and got her out of there. Or B, Sinatra is really gone, and Jane saw what was happening in the shadows, like got herself out of there, and will be the antagonist that could potentially impact what the plan is when it comes to Alex. Now, the second option I name is probably the most likely, I believe, because there has to be a reason why Alex felt like it was important to go back in time to make a warning about her. So there's something that she does that interferes with the plan. And so that's why I think that's probably the most likeliest outcome is that it will be that, oh, she survived and she just been hiding in the cut, and she is aware of what's going on or something, because she's now at this point she has no one to anchor or to latch on to. She's mad at Dr. TT. So I think there's a way that she will probably interfere with whatever plans they have to get to Alex at some capacity or at some point that will hurt, right? So I think that's the case. I think that's what it is. More than probably Sinatra is alive. But I'm just saying, like, I just felt like, yeah, it was a beautiful moment, like symbolic of her getting peace, but like, was she really just hallucinating? And it was really Jane's hand that snatched her and pulled her, and she just was so out of it or whatever that she didn't, it was like kind of not reality. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But as they made it to the end, and closer to the end of the episode, we get a awkward moment between Dr. TT and Terry. Oh, he had a thing for teas. But anyway, um, I guess Dr. TT thought like we was gonna pick up where we left off, but you know that man got a wife. But I guess she really just didn't think that like he was gonna find her. But she was like, "Hey, X." That's Yeah, he left an impression. That's all I'm gonna say. He must have left an impression because it was like, girl, we literally could die out here. You come to me, hey X. Okay. But so he's just like, and I found this really funny and comical, and I thought it was really good, like part to have and include in the finale. To like kind of ease us back because we just went through a lot of action of what was going on. And he's like, hey, meet my wife. And this is my therapist. And it's like, hey, a woman's intuition knows. Let me tell you, Terry clocked that T. She did. She clocked it. She did. She was like, something's here. Something was here. What's T? And there's the argument, and I saw their like podcast of Sterling Knight and his wife. Um, I forgot her name. I know her name, but they were going back and forth of should he just told her like why is instead of running away, because yes, X, who has faced an unknown world, um going looking for his wife, people killers and all of these type of things for him to run away now when he's faced with his mission, his side piece and his wife. Call it what it is. It is what it is. Side piece and his wife. That is hilarious. Like, this man's been to war. And this is the first time we've seen him genuinely scared. But I mean, what do you say? Like, I think he can tell. I think he should tell her for sure after this. Like, once every, like, after he's finished talking to Link that night, be like, "Hey, I need to tell you something." Like, don't. I think the longer you wait, the worse it is gonna be. Like, let's not do that. But he runs, goes and visit Link because Link now has Annie's baby, and what is he named the baby? Annie. So I was like, okay. It was like, okay, well, yeah, it'll stick at least because we was calling it Annie's baby anyway. So yeah, I just think that I'm trying to see if I covered everything. I think that was it. Yeah, for the most part, I think that was it. Oh, I think I failed to mention that when X and Link had met for the first time, we did see where it felt like time was colliding. Like they were both like got nosebleeds and like getting I guess deja vu feeling and emotions together. And I do still think that that means that those two were like either what Alex is predicting is happening and it was not original, but like, and that's the like response to it. Um, like with my prediction, I made this happen, but the there's side effects of feeling, nosebleeds because this technically isn't supposed to happen in this timeline. I still think that that is what happened because when they got closer to each other, it was like nosebleeds. Like, yeah, I've seen you before. Oh my God, wait. Ugh. Almost like visions. So it makes you think if it's the time travel where your past selves, like we're with your past selves and you go back to correct your past selves behavior thing type of thing. That's what it seems like. I don't know. And that's where it gets confusing and annoying when it comes to time travel. But other than that, that was mostly the episode. Now let's get into the theory section. Okay. Theory question and theory number one. How did Link create Alex? I feel like they really did not do the job. They just said, boom, I created him. They didn't tell us how he created Alex. And I think that, like, it does make me question, is he really Sinatra's son? If he's Sinatra's son, how did he get to this timeline? Right. So, and there were some people, and there was like questions about if Sinatra was the one that made it happen or did it. I could see that in a way of, did she do something, follow his Alex's predictions that would allow Link to get outside of his timeline where he is not, where he survives, to get into another timeline where he creates Alex? Because I do look at her again, back to her reaction. She was shocked but not surprised. So is it that type of situation where her past self or her future self? No, I don't know. I don't know. Where her future self makes a decision that impacts the past, and she's betting on that, bringing Link to this timeline. That's what I mean. So I'm wondering if it's in that case, and but then it's like again, how is he the one that has the information on how to create Alex? That's interesting to me. Um, that's definitely an area that they need to come and like tell us a little bit more how that worked to make it a full circle. But also, um Is Alex good? Do we think that Alex is really trying to help or has a mind of its own and is working in a way to be in power? I'm curious. I don't know because Link wants to destroy it. He created it and he wants to destroy it, but don't they want to use it to reverse and stop what happened in the world? But could that potentially then, okay, wait, I'm walking. Could that potentially mean if they do that, that Alex is never made? Because you would never need Alex, right? Like the whole purpose of Alex being created was to build a machine to reverse what was going to happen on Earth. So if there's a way to reverse it with our past selves, then we will never be in this situation. So is Alex walking them through these predictabilities because it is, remember, because it was too smart to keep up with, that it's potentially telling them steps to take to not be eliminated, but to exist. I don't, girl, listen, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. How do we know Alice can be trusted? Why does Link feel like he needs to destroy it? And I think once I get a better understanding, and if you have a better understanding or theory, please let me know. I would really like to know. But I don't know. And then I think the time machine element piece to it as well is really not explained. Like we know that it can make predictions and placement in time, but how is it doing time travel? How is a person jumping from one timeline to another? Because Link does not, if he is allegedly Sinatra's son, how is he in this timeline? How did that happen? Right? That piece of it is where I'm puzzled. I don't know. Um, yeah. These are theories and questions that I definitely look forward to seeing in season 3 because there's so many, I think, plot holes that we need to address and fully close. Um yeah, y'all finish y'all script, but y'all need to add about 20 more minutes to those episodes or give me 12. Like they need to be advocating for more episodes at this point. There's no way that they should be pushing everything into 8 episodes. No. Or give us longer episodes. Like it need to be an hour or it need to be 12 episodes. I'm not kidding. 12 to 15. Because we need to end this on a good note. It need to make sense. When you start getting convoluted in stories like this, like I'm the first thing that comes to mind for me because this is the only one I finished. Manifest, right? Like the buildup was so good that when we finally reached the climax, it was like this sucks. I hope it does not happen with Paradise. I really genuinely hope it does not happen. Um, yeah, so that means the writing gotta be tight. It's gotta make sense. And we gotta clean up some plot holes. And you have to do proper storytelling and allow it to be told. And you cannot do that in eight episodes. You can't. You can't. Because there's more plot holes that need to be covered. I feel like season 1 was pretty good. Like, okay, it makes sense. Point A to point B makes sense. But season 2, you've opened up too many cans. So, hello, producers. I don't have a lot of following, but if you see this, please, we need more episodes or it needs to be a longer one. But those are my thoughts and my theories on Paradise. I am what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing them in the real world. What is that dynamic? It kind of makes me feel like there's so much they could do to the story, right? Like, is there a world where we prolong the heat getting, I mean, I know it's the last season, but I could for sure see this going on for seasons where we really could explore different people now on Earth because you've opened up the story. And it can be a really fun post-apocalyptic show. Where are we follow? What are the billionaires doing now that they're no longer billionaires? What are the people, how do the people feel because they were abandoned and neglected and people lost their lives? What about the agent, which we never got back to, that was left behind? What about the people who were left behind intentionally and have a beef and an issue with being locked out of being able to go to the bunker? What about them? There's so much to unpack. So much. Gary is still there. I just know good and well he ain't let this go. Okay. Jane, she probably somewhere in the bushes, child. She there. What about the areas that you can't go to? Like there's so much that we can unpack on the grounds now that the bunker is no longer there. It opens up the story. I really want to see what that looks like, which is why this cannot be rushed. It just cannot be rushed. I think we need an episode of how the dynamics will be, and then we can get back to Xavier on his trip, which I do think his wife and family and kids should just all go with him at this point. Like, don't be separating no more. This is quite ridiculous. But you know, and upon reflection, did I feel like we needed to give Annie all of the screen time? No, we didn't. I feel like it was totally unnecessary in hindsight. We did not need to give Annie all of this time. Fully first three episodes. It wasn't necessary. I'm sorry. Like, because it was such a switch in pace. I love the pace of it, right? But again, because you're cutting so much important details, I could have went without that. And I would have liked more of getting into the science or the whys or the plot holes or developing other characters that we know are gonna we know now we're going to be more, have more longevity on the show. I would have liked more of that than Annie for 3 episodes. In hindsight, I don't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. Like there should have been more of the daughter and her suspicions around Sinatra, what she has going on with the bunker. We needed more of that. Jeremy, what was his plan? What was his protest really rooted in and about? Why did he just want to open the door and give people options? Like maybe let's sit there and unpack that. Agent Robinson, like who is she now? How is she evolving? Because it just feels like they didn't know what to do with her. Gary, there's just so many characters that they just kind of brushed over when Annie Gay was given a lot of time, and they required that much time as well. So those are just my final thoughts on the season. It's still one of like maybe the best thing on TV right now. For sure, hands down. What would I rate this season finale episode? Mm, ooh. Because there's still so many plot holes, it was good. It was good. I think because there's still so many plot holes, I have to give it a 7.5 out of 8. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll give it an 8 actually. I will give it an 8. That's my score. I will give it an 8 out of 10 because it still was very good. It grabbed my attention. Every moment moved. We did get in the major important answers, and it set it up in a way that I'm really excited to see where it's going in season 3. So I think that's good. Like I'm okay with that, right? So yeah, I would like to know you guys' score. What would you rate this season finale? There's a lot of mixed reviews, so I would really love to hear your rating and why. But that is all that I have. Thank you guys for watching Paradise season 2 with me. It was really fun going and recapping and theorizing about this. I don't really get to do this until Big Brother comes back. So I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. I will be back though because is it the Testament? I think it's not Testimonials. I think it's Testament, which is a spinoff of The Handmaid's Tales. Will be coming on Hulu, and I will absolutely be recapping it. I just feel like it's only right. And this is the second book to the Handmaid's Tale series, which I'm sure that the show is going to do go in a different direction like they did with Handmaid's Tales. I'm super excited. So I will be back recapping the first season. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, you could catch me out on TikTok and Instagram at Lauren.Ashley. where I'll be, filling you in on what I'm watching, where I'm going. So yeah, you should check it out. I'll be going on a cruise. So if you want to see a vlog, let me know. I will definitely do a vlog over on my personal Lauren at Ashley account, and probably, give my reviews and feedback because I am a true carnival girly. So I am so excited for what's to come. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.